Join us as we explore medical frontiers.
Hi everyone, Tony here for Immortality. Let's look at a real cause of aging. The example here explains osteoporosis, but the model is applicable universally, and we can apply that model as a general cause of aging. Osteoporosis and sarcopenia are predominantly aging diseases. I really think the Japanese group gets to the start of the cause of aging here.
1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men aged 50 or over suffer from osteoporosis, which can lead to bone fractures. The disease makes bones weak and brittle, and the International Osteoporosis Foundation says that 9 million fractures occur annually, putting a heavy burden not only on patients but also their families.
The human body is an object under the pressures of physics, like all other objects, and they fail. With time, they all change. And so, while there isn't a man in the sky who talks to people and does that, controls aging or whatever they believe, it's actually changes in the body make the body incapable of sustaining life. Here we're looking at the skeletal system and how osteoporosis renders the skeletal system incapable of supporting weight. This can be applied to every other system as it relates to aging. The example is insightful.
Japanese researchers are trying to determine the mechanism behind osteoporosis at a cellular level to find a new treatment.
This image shows a fracture in the spine of an osteoporosis patient. One of the bones was crushed under the patient's weight. Osteoporosis is often called a silent disease because it progresses without symptoms until one day a sneeze or cough can result in a bone fracture.
This isn't a long-winded definition of aging. The model behind the onset of these diseases equals the cause of aging.
Erica set out to learn how doctors diagnose this symptomless condition.
先生どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
よろしくお願いいたします。
よろしくお願いします。
Takayuki Hosoi has spent many years treating osteoporosis.
So, Doctor, how do you actually diagnose osteoporosis?
骨密度を正確に測る、それが大事なものですね。こちらの機械で測ります。
Great. I'm looking forward to trying it.
Hosoi measures bone density with a special device using X-rays. Hosoi compares bone density in her lower spine and upper thigh bone with the averages of those areas for younger people. The benchmark values for bone density are the averages for 20 to 44-year-olds in the lower spine and for 20 to 29-year-olds in the upper thigh bone. Readings that are 70% of these benchmarks or less are diagnosed as osteoporosis. The density of a bone depends on its internal structure. There are countless pillars of calcium inside a bone. Their compactness is what is referred to as bone density. Cells called osteoclasts are located on the surface of these pillars. They release acid and enzymes to melt the pillars. Other cells called osteoblasts deposit calcium and protein into the cavities created by the osteoclasts. In this way, the bones constantly undergo a metabolic process.
So you have osteoclasts that are cannibalizing the bone. You have osteoblasts that are rebuilding the bone. The body is turning over. The entire human body is turning over, not just the skeletal system. These are very specific processes. The body here is running a very tight chemistry. Things have to be correct for bones to be healthy.
Dr. Hosoe, the bone is constantly turning over. What's the purpose of this?
これはとても面白い質問です。古い骨がそのままいると、それ自体が骨を弱くします。ですから骨の強度を保つためにはこのターンオーバー、新しい骨を作り古い骨を壊す、そのターンオーバーがとても必要です。
It's not like steel, where humans build something out of steel for as long as possible. For bone to remain integral over time, it must be rebuilt. The human body, in contrast, has a maintenance system, a self-repair system. And that's how the human body can live for so long. It is an additional system that endows it with its longevity, and that is that maintenance system of which we just saw. Without that maintenance system, the body would not live for more than 6 months to 5 years. Some essential processes turn over every 24 hours. An artificial heart is guaranteed for 5 years. The heart is pumping 60 to 80 beats per minute for 80 years. Nature has explored every possibility of making organisms immortal. Some are straightforward, some do it very acrobatically. That animals which have cured aging do so through their ability to perfectly resynthesize their organs. As we will see in osteoporosis, many hundreds and thousands of other processes in the body, that the human body does not have the capacity for that perfect resynthesis, and therefore it is mortal. Clearly, if all damaged structures were renewed with perfect accuracy, aging would not occur. But the inevitability of aging suggests that the biological mechanisms of removal and resynthesis are not perfect. We know from immortal animals that animals that have perfect turnover are immortal. Animals that have imperfect turnover are mortal.
で、全身で見ると5、6年で全部変わっているという説もあります。
Amazing when you think about it.
ですからオリンピックに出たら次のオリンピックは半分以上違う骨で戦ってるんですね。そのぐらい骨が入れ替わっています。
Cells called osteocytes, located inside the pillars of calcium, play a key role in bone metabolism. The osteocytes are affected by the female hormone estrogen. Estrogen controls the osteocytes and gets them to suppress the excessive destruction of pillars by osteoclasts and to promote bone formation by osteoblasts.
Now they've introduced a chemical signaling system that contributes to the regulation of the process.
However, estrogen levels in women begin to fall a few years before menopause. When this happens, the osteoblasts can no longer keep up with the osteoclasts, resulting in a gradual decrease in bone density.
The altered signaling system affects the correct functioning of this bone resynthesis process.
In men, male hormones which are involved in the maintenance and building of muscle are converted to estrogen.
男性の場合は、急激にホルモン環境が変わることはないんですね。徐々に減ってくることはありますけども、更年期のようにストーンと下がることはない。これが男女の大きな違い。
Human brain is the master controller of aging, and the sites where this signaling system deteriorates are also major sites of aging. Specifically, the hypothalamus is the master controller of human aging, and it does so by destroying these regulatory processes that need to be on point. By dysregulating these essential processes, aging occurs. Conversely, if it ensured perfect regulation, aging would occur either very slowly or not at all. Why does it do this? That's up to speculation.
一番のリスクは女性であることなんですね。で、女性でしかも更年期閉経後の方が最も大きなリスクを持っています。
So what are some of the side effects of these drug therapies?
破骨細胞というのはもともと骨を溶かす細胞なんですけども、それは悪いことだけではなくて、骨に蓄積しているカルシウムを溶け出してカルシウムを血液中に補填してくれる、そういう作用もあるんですね。これが急に抑えられてしまうと血液中のカルシウムが減ってしまうんです。
I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just wanted to present that, the importance of these homeostatic processes in the amelioration of these age-related diseases. If you want to watch it, it's called The Culprit Behind Osteoporosis, Medical Frontiers. Aging is caused by damage? Wrong. Two major aging phenotypes, sarcopenia and osteoporosis, have nothing to do with damage. Aging is caused by imperfect turnover. Correct. Immortal organisms prove it. Does UV exposure accelerate aging? Deceptive. It is the turnover that is bad and not the UV damage itself. Some immortal organisms need damage to activate turnover and keep themselves immortal. Aging is caused by random damage. Wrong. Aging is programmed. Correct. Hypothalamus GnRH estrogen causes the dyshomeostasis in osteoporosis. Tony, over and out.